We get a lot of requests from people who want some marksmanship instruction. Let's talk about that. Welcome to the Patriot Training YouTube channel. My name is Clay Hall. I'm the owner and head firearms instructor at Patriot Training. Frequently, we will have people write in, call in, text, email, you name it, and they want a little bit of marksmanship instruction. So I figured we would do a video on that, and in order to do so, I recorded a clip of some of the marksmanship instruction given in a recent class. Now, mind you, this class was not marksmanship based. There were other things that we were doing. However, this blurb will give you an idea of where we go. Now, if you see a Patriot Training video, this one or any other, and your first instinct is to type out in the comments,
"You're doing it wrong,"
then understand you need to get to a Patriot Training class today. Your problem is you think you know everything and you don't, and we have got some different methodologies that we do, and we intentionally do things a little bit different than you might have seen in the military, law enforcement, or from the last instructor you took a class from, and you need to come down and learn why. And that's what we specialize in, is not only what to do, but why to do it. And I will put the success of Patriot Training students up against any others out there, my friends. The techniques that we teach are tried and true. Okay, so let's talk about supported prone. The first thing you need to do is you need to measure the stock of your rifle. Now, this is old school second generation rifle combat marksmanship. I want to hold the rifle like this with my arm at a 90-degree angle and run the stock out until it gets within a finger or two of my bicep. For those of you that are tall, like I am, like John, you're probably gonna have to run it all the way out. Most of you are gonna be somewhere between click number 3, click number 4. So it's gonna look about like that for most of you. If you are between 2 clicks, go with the longer click. LT, you might be on click number 1 or 2 down here, okay? Anybody know why it's called LT? We outshot Charles, one of our instructors, an expert rifleman. Charles said, "You little turd." And you get nicknames in Patriot Training classes.
The soldier shall be named.
So, with a 90-degree angle, good firm grip, measure your stock. You're going to rest this rifle on this bag like so. Like so. And you are going to put your body behind the rifle. If you would mind moving that, please. My feet are going to go there. Feet apart. If you can get your heels down, it just makes you really steady where you're not moving. If you cannot get your heels down, you can dig your toes into the ground like so. I can bring my hand over the top here, or I can bring it back here like a sniper. It doesn't really matter. Now I put the stock into the pocket of my shoulder, and you will notice if you took a bird's eye view that there's a straight line between this rifle to my shoulder and down through this leg. You see how my other leg is kind of canted off to the side. There's kind of like a straight line down my back through this leg. You see that? I'm ever so slightly canted off to the side, ever so slightly. And I can sweep it off safe. And I learned something. The last class I taught, I said, just like Pat McNamara, I said, sight, sight, squeeze, squeeze, sight, sight, squeeze, squeeze, sight, sight, squeeze, squeeze. And I gave that visual cue. These people going, sight, sight, squeeze, squeeze, sight, sight, squeeze, squeeze. And we had a little bit of a malfunction. So I'm going to say sight, sight, squeeze, sight, sight, squeeze, sight, sight, squeeze, until the rifle goes click. Just like that. Run my bolt. Back on target. What was that?
True. reset.
Trigger reset. Sight, sight, squeeze. Sight, sight, squeeze. Sight, sight, squeeze. Reset. Make sense?
Yep.
That's what we're going to do. We're going to get our rucksack. We're going to brace on our rucksack, get nice and steady. Empty gun, no magazine, nothing like that. And I want you to be sighting in like that. It's called snapping in. They call that snapping in the military. I want you to snap in a little bit, maybe 4 or 5 really good shots. And I want you sight, sight, squeeze, sight, sight, squeeze. You're just constantly adding a little bit more pressure to that trigger. Cool?